A Brief History of Wine Innovation by Village Craft Winemaker. Wine has always been more than a social drink. It's a story of innovation, how people have found new ways to make, store, improve, and share it for over 8,000 years. It began in the Caucasus, 6000 BC. Wine was fermented in large egg-shaped clay jars called qvevri. Later, amphorae, ornate two-handled vessels, were used to serve and transport it across the ancient world. Clay worked but was fragile, making transport risky. The Romans, from the 1st century BCE through the 4th century, adopted oak barrels from the Celts, stronger, easier to move, and ideal for aging. After Rome fell in 476, Europe's monks became wine's quiet custodians. Through the Middle Ages, they refined fermentation and mapped vineyards in Burgundy, Champagne, and the Rhine, laying the foundations of fine wine today. In 17th century Europe, a new pairing changed wine forever. In England, glassmakers developed strong, dark bottles. In Portugal, cork stoppers sealed them tight. Together, bottles and corks allowed wine to age gracefully and travel farther than ever before. In the 1850s and 60s, Louis Pasteur in France uncovered the secrets of fermentation, showing how wine could be protected from spoiling. At the same time, giant vats and oak barrels allowed winemaking to scale up. For the first time, wine was being produced on an industrial scale, consistent, transportable, and ready for a global market. And as Europe refined its methods, wine itself was spreading across the globe. Spanish vines thrived in Chile and Argentina. Dutch settlers planted South Africa's Cape vineyards. Australia received vines with the first fleet, New Zealand with missionaries. In North America, vineyards appeared in Quebec and California, and by 1859, British Columbia's Okanagan Valley had its first vines. Wine was now global and growing in popularity in the New World. But that rise was soon interrupted. In the 1920s, Prohibition banned alcohol across much of North America. Families turned to grape bricks stamped with a sly warning: do not add water and sugar or it will ferment into wine, and of course it did. Prohibition also fueled mob bootlegging and secret speakeasies. Wine, like whiskey and beer, went underground. When Prohibition ended in the 1930s, winemaking returned to the mainstream. At home, though, the process was far from refined. Fermentation usually began in open pails, inexpensive and easy to find, before the wine was transferred into heavy glass carboys for aging. It worked, but was cumbersome and inefficient. Transferring required heavy lifting and siphoning by hand, leading to frequent spills, sticky floors, and aching backs that became the common complaints of early home winemaking. Later innovations brought less bulky equipment and plastic carboys, cleaner and safer than before, yet still awkward and space-consuming for the average home winemaker. 1962 marked a quiet revolution in British Columbia, Canada, when brew on-premise was first legalized. For the first time, customers could craft their own wine at a licensed shop, without the mess and hassle of fermenting at home. Ontario followed in 1996, and in 2018, Alberta finally joined in, opening the door for wine lovers across the West. In February 2019 came the game changer, the UWinemaker, a single-stage fermenter that replaced bulky equipment, pails, siphons, and carboys. No heavy lifting, no mess. Just a clean, easy system that produces award-winning wine in less time at a fraction of the cost of retail equivalents. By August 2019, Village Craft Winemaker proudly opened its doors and became one of the first brew on-premises to feature the award-winning UWinemaker system, delivering exceptional quality and convenience. Customers simply select their favorite wine kits, pour the yeast, and Village Craft Winemaker handles the rest. When it's ready, they return to bottle their wine, aromatic, full of character, and every bit as polished as professional vintages, ready to share and enjoy. From clay jars in the ancient world to home brewing, to the UWinemaker and Brew on-premise, the history of wine has always been the history of innovation. And today it has never been easier to raise a glass and celebrate. At Village Craft Winemaker, your adventure is just beginning.